We never know
See a little
exactly
button
who's
up.
seeing us when. Yes, but
See a little button up there. Mary Grace, how is it Monday already?
I
How?
know. I was like, here we are again. So I was trying to look halfway decent for our crowd here tonight. I was like, doing my administrations in the in the mirror, and I have this hugest big red thing on the top of my head, and it's because I bet every single one of you has had this happen at some point. Like my grandson didn't want me to leave and he grabbed my, he tore my hair out at the roots and I can't afford to let go of much of this. Yeah. And I'm like, why does my head hurt? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that mark. He's so strong. They get their little fingers in there.
Because he loves you. Because he loves you. Oh,
Yeah. Love hurts.
love does hurt. That's a great song too. So as we're chit-chatting here, I'm asking y'all to hop in and say hello and tagging everybody so that
Yes,
we
and
can
let us
get you
know who
moving and
invited
grooving.
you. We
There's
always, oh, I'm sorry.
no, I was going to say there's always so much to do here.
Yeah, so I'll talk. We always love that when you guys let us know who invited you here. Just be sure to tag your stylist. If you are the stylist, just say, Mary Grace, I love working with you and it's the best thing ever.
You're the most awesome thing on the face of this earth.
If you'd like to mention Janine, you may. And I'd like to know how many people have started their Christmas shopping.
Oh, that's a great question to ask.
Yeah,
Great question.
every single individual that I speak to, I feel like I go, I know it's boring to keep saying it, but we're all feeling like it went from summer to Thanksgiving. And we're
It
like,
did.
how did this happen? And Thanksgiving's like next week. And normally it would be this week, someone told me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think that would have put me over the edge. But
Yes,
yeah, we
it's at
just
the
had,
end of next week. So give us a little bit of time. But I
yeah.
will tell you that I feel the same way. I feel like it was summer 3 seconds ago. Okay. And now all of a sudden we are like, it's just full on Christmas. And I really do think that it has to do with the fact that everybody's doing stuff so much earlier anymore. So, years ago, it was unheard of for you to put your Christmas tree up or do any of your decorations prior to Thanksgiving. And now people just do it because it makes them feel good. And
It
I'm
makes
all
him
for it.
feel good. And I found out from Paul when Paul was with us, he I should have known this, but it never occurred to me. They want to get things up before it's like real cold. And I'm like, oh, of course. So then I joined the team. Like I had someone putting my Christmas lights up on my roof this week.
I mean, honestly, it makes sense. I get it. I
Yes,
get it. And welcome,
yes.
everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, hello, hello.
I think it's
Oh
the
my
weather
goodness.
too, because I know we're in very different places, but we had very similar weather
We do.
patterns.
We
And it
do.
just went from like tomorrow I'm golfing. Tomorrow it's going to be 70 something.
Oh, no, not here.
And but we've also had like 38-degree weather like
Mm,
the day before. So
mhm.
it's so crazy that's why
Yeah.
you feel like, wow, I can't even do my clothes straight for right now. How am I supposed to do Thanksgiving?
We have tremendous mood swings, weather mood
Yes.
swings, and I think that Mother Nature needs a Xanax. I say this all the
Yeah.
time because it's just so odd. But yeah, but some people are saying they're itching to put their trees up. Some people are saying hello. Others have invited them. Please drop in the comments, like Mary Grace asked, and put in who invited you here tonight. It is our Monday night free jewelry call, and I swear to you, and I tell you, Monday comes around in 5.2 seconds from the last time that we did it. So it's just mind blowing. But the cool part about this is you're going to get to spend the next 20 minutes or so with us, and we're just so much fun. And we get to talk about Park Lane Jewelry, quite honestly. So if you were invited to this call, I always like to open with this because I truly do mean this. If you were invited to this call, take it as a positive. Um,
Mhm.
the stylist who invited you not only knows that you love a chance to win free jewelry, but that stylist, him or her, really knows and thinks that you would make a great team member of theirs. So we want you to just sit back and listen. And this might be something that fits you perfectly. Okay. And then you're going to contact your stylist. We're going to move forward from there. Or this could be something that while we're talking, you're thinking of others. So we're going to ask you to invite them to the call next week, and get them on here, get them in this group, and get them listening. So welcome to all of our fabulous people. On Monday nights, I have the distinct pleasure of interviewing our executive company vice president, Mary Grace Lewandowski. She's sitting in that seat right over there. And everything's backwards. That's why I have to point that way, Mary Mary Grace. And because I know what she just saw. And, I get to ask her 4 questions about our business. And interestingly enough, even though the questions are very similar every single week, the answers change a lot. And it's just based on what Park Lane is throwing at us incentive wise, what we're thinking at the time, and what fits the need of the day. So we're talking holidays right now, extra money for the holidays, little side hustles for the holidays. And we hope that you listen with an open heart and get some great information from us. So, Mary Grace, you and I are in this genre called direct sales, and we drop that name all of the time. But I think sometimes we just need to explain it to some people. So, what I'd love for you to do is talk about why direct sales. Like, where does direct sales fit into everything when it comes to a little side hustle? And then, how does it differ from the buzzword of multi-level marketing?
Here we go. You never know what the answer is basically the same because the information is the same, but I do have different
True.
ways to come. Different ways to answer every time. And every time you say that, I'm like, I'm so glad that when I heard there was a job opportunity here that I just said, "Oh, tell me more." And that it didn't say, "Have you ever done direct sales?" Because I think I would have had
I wouldn't, yeah.
maybe one of those reactions like people have, like, "Is that one of those pyramid things? Is that one of those things where you have to get people to sign up or whatever?" Well, you guys, here we are wanting for you to do this with us. But honestly, it's because we just love sharing. We love sharing the opportunity, and we want Park Lane to become a household name. And we would absolutely love to work with you. But our main goal is not to sign people up. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Most of us start simply to represent the product, and direct sales means direct to consumer. So we serve as a liaison between the company and between the customer. Now, multi-level marketing is a recruiting based business. It is
Right.
definitely, like, you can even tell on the name, because the multi levels really refer to how many levels do you have going underneath you with people
Right.
selling, and keep this one alive, keep this one alive. They do a lot of what they do, mostly from behind their computer and stuff, but it's a recruiting based business. That's really the biggest thing, is to get customers to become reps, and that a certain amount is being sold every month, like charged on people's credit cards kind of thing.
Right.
Similar to what we do, in that we don't turn up to an office, and we work from our own homes around our own schedules. But
Mm-hmm.
aside from that, not that similar. And then direct sales really means we're a party plan business too. So we actually have built into our programs a way to reward hostesses and free jewelry for sharing their friends and family with us. And Park
Mm-hmm.
Lane pays for all that. So that's one of the components of a direct sales business normally. Not all of them pay for the hostess credit, but Park Lane does. So, and for me, it's been running my own business with none of the stress and none of the overhead. And I've told you that Janine and I have known each other, I don't know, decade more.
Long
I don't
time.
know.
Yeah. I don't either.
Poor you. I just feeling so sorry for you. But I, Paul and I had talents. I don't want to say talents, but like
Skills.
talents, I guess, skills that were very opposite from one another, in which we would both say, "Oh, we should open our own business. We do so well." Like, I would be the front of the store, you would be the back of the store, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We never would have been brave enough to have we wouldn't have had the money. We wouldn't have had the courage. We wouldn't
Yeah.
have had just the wherewithal to stay with something like that. Most small businesses don't make money for the first 2 years. Direct sales, I started making money, extra money, immediately. I
Yeah. Day
could
one.
do it around the schedule that I was already keeping. So when people say to
Mhm.
me, "Oh, I already have a job," you know that I laugh. I'm like, "Well,
Good.
good," because I wouldn't want to be responsible for you quitting your job and then not liking this. I loved that we could fit it around whatever we did. So direct sales is very flexible. It has the income of a better income than a regular part-time gig, that's for sure, and full-time job. And the sky's the limit. We often say, if you want to do it a little, you'll make really good money. If you want to do it a lot, you'll make more money than you ever thought would be possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my answer today.
I love it. I love your answer. I always have. And I love that we are that direct to consumer person. So we are that
Yes.
liaison. I love when you use that word because that's truly what it is you're a personal shopper. You're really just helping them with the fashion side of things, what fits and where it fits into our everyday sale, which Mary Grace is going to get into in a moment. So now that we know what direct sales is and how it fits into people's lifestyles, why jewelry? Like where does jewelry fit?
Yeah, everything I had ever heard about direct sales, once I was in it, I fell into it. I went to a show. It
Same.
was a
Yeah.
candle party. I went to a show and they said, "Would you like more information about the job?" And I thought, "Oh, sure." I'm just the type of person I wasn't looking, but I was always leaving my options open, always looking for ways to make extra income or to add, something to our family, that could be an experience we weren't going to have or whatever. But I wasn't savvy enough. Oh, now mind you, I didn't even know what direct sales was. So I followed that path. I learned about direct sales. I went and worked for that company and I skyrocketed to the top of the company, as did you in the basket industry. But there was no choosing. I didn't go out and purposely choose a product.
No.
But see, when Park Lane started their direct sales company,
Yeah.
in 1955, one of the first to do so, knowing they wanted the direct sales model, one of the first to use the direct sales model. They're like, I like this idea. Shirley Levine, who was the founder, she loved the idea. Now, think about 1955
Crazy.
of creating a business where women could be where they needed to be when they needed to be there and still work and still make amazing money. So she
Yeah.
she had the foresight to see people like us 3 generations later. Once they decided they wanted to use that model, they were like, what product do you think? And they were thinking in their head it would be some kind of home
Home
product.
product
And they did
back
this
then.
really brilliant thing. They said, you know what? Let's be smart about this. Let's not just pick something we like. Let's back it up with facts. So they hired these 3 separate consulting companies, and the 3 separate consulting companies were not told that each other was doing this research, and they were all asked to go out into the world, do their research, and come back with what they would recommend as the top 3 product choices. And then they were, going to have to be prepared to defend their answers. And much to the Levine shock, and then what the way it impacts us today, it's funny, but all 3 came back with jewelry as number one. And they go, oh, okay, defend the answers. And that's what I'm about to tell you now. I have lived this, I have learned this. I studied this before I came here, but jewelry is definitely the place to be. Okay. So first of all, if you're going to do something, you want to have a broad market. And everybody buys or wears jewelry. Seriously, everybody. Now someone out there is thinking, no, my aunt so and so. True, but I bet you've caught her in one time or another wearing some kind of jewelry
Yeah.
or looking at it or purchasing it. It's one of the
Yeah.
top 3 gifts in the world, candy, flowers, and jewelry.
Right.
Okay, when you don't want a fad, right? You don't want to represent a fad. You want to represent something that has longevity. Well, jewelry has been around for over 150,000 years. And the forecasts are like 44.3 or billion
Billion.
dollars
Yeah.
is going to
Yeah.
be spent. Billion, you guys, billion. Like it's like crazy. Okay, so all of those reasons are really great ones from a standpoint of someone that's going to represent a product of who you want to like your product. It's like, oh my God, the world is my oyster. But in addition to that, from our vantage point as people who represent jewelry, I didn't even think about how amazing it would be that I'm walking around with my product on all the time, as are my customers. And like that's ending up with referrals back to us all the time. I get compliments on my jewelry every day, or I can easily start a conversation with someone about jewelry by saying,
Right.
oh, I like your necklace. I'm always so interested because I'm in the jewelry business. Okay, so that's been perfect. It's very inexpensive to ship and store. We don't really ship that much from our own homes.
No.
Parkley does almost everything
No.
for us. But how nice to know that if I'm going to, usually I have an envelope or something, I just pop it into a little padded
Yeah.
envelope and off it goes. But it's also great to know that Park Lane doesn't have that expensive to ship and store because, like when COVID hit and people were like, oh no, we had millions of dollars of inventory on the floor in our Chicago warehouse. We didn't even miss a beat. So, all of those reasons. And then, aside,
Crazy.
like, I always knew that I would have to do a job where I served others. I just knew that
Yeah.
that would be the type of job that I would do best in. I don't like being the boss. I like to serve others. And I love that jewelry. Seriously, you guys, research backs up that jewelry like raises your serotonin levels. It's one of the number one compliment catchers.
Yeah.
It's something that is a conversation starter. There are so many neat things about jewelry, and I love to watch people like kind of evolve and change by just treating themselves to a piece of jewelry, as ridiculous as that sounds. So there's a whole component there too that I can't say enough about. But jewelry is definitely the place to be.
I absolutely love when you start talking about 1955 and the fact that Shirley Levine, a woman in 1955,
Yes.
started a business with her husband, and she was very young at the time. And she wanted to really do exactly what has happened today. She wanted generational wealth, right? And she wanted to be able to bring other women into this business and allow them to experience the same thing. What a visionary. She truly
Yes, yeah.
was.
She passed away not that long ago. She was 87, I think.
Mhm.
And one of my favorite stories about her is her son, Scott, who is our CEO now. He was in the audience with her at something Park Lane, and it was absolutely packed. I mean, thousands of people there. And he looked at her and he said, Mom, did you ever imagine? You know? And she said, it's exactly how I pictured it.
Yeah,
And I love that.
that she
Yeah.
did.
She
That's
said, I
why,
knew
I
it
mean,
all
I feel
along.
like
Yeah.
we all, those of us who are like you and I, we all would have loved to have met her in her heyday,
Oh my
and
goodness. I can't
learn
imagine.
from her, because she's an amazing woman. I've read a lot about her, and
Oh my
I
God. We
think,
could talk just about her for
yeah,
hours and hours. Yeah.
yeah, I would have been like wanted to be her BFF.
She
You
would
know what I'm
fly to
saying?
do parties. Like she would take a little like two plane, whatever they're called, two-seater plane,
Yeah,
because that's what they used to have in those days. And she would fly to do parties in a certain area. And her husband, Art, would tell her when she could afford to come home.
I mean, you just can't. You can't imagine what she did to do what we're doing right now. And that's just amazing. It's just
Look
very,
what
very
she
amazing.
did. And all we're telling you guys is give it a go.
Give it a try. Give it a try. Everything's in place already. She didn't have anything in place. So just an
Nothing.
amazing woman, really somebody that, people should Google and read about, because she's just
Yeah.
interesting. So okay, now that we know where jewelry fits in, because it's a multi-billion-dollar business and it's projected to go up billions of dollars, why Park Lane? What do we have that's so special?
Yeah, I know. And you guys probably are out there thinking, well, of course they're going to say Park Lane because this is who they work for. But we were both in a place where we needed to pick a new company.
Yep.
Our companies went under, or were having the forecasting. It wasn't looking good. Let's put it that way. Okay. We'd been in direct sales a long time.
Long time.
And when both Jeannie and I, we didn't know each other, it's two separate
No.
stories. But when we started looking for what we wanted to do next, we both did our research and we knew to choose jewelry. And then looking at other jewelry companies, we chose Park Lane. So this isn't just like wishful thinking, it's literally like a process that we
Yeah.
lived through, I lived through. So one of the things that like and my husband looked at everything and right away he's like, I can't even believe this is a choice. I mean, obviously it should be Park Lane. He's very business minded and stuff, but you always have those little emotional attachments too, and you want to make sure you're doing the right thing. So it took me a little bit, but first it was the product line. So you guys out there will all know what I'm talking about. If you put like any other jewelry company that you can think of in the comments, don't do it. Why put other
No.
jewelry companies? But if you had any other jewelry company in your head, they normally are known for something. Okay, so they might be mainly pearls, they might be mainly Swarovski crystals, they might be mainly silver, or a certain style. They might be mostly boutique style jewelry.
Right.
Now, what's going to happen with things like that is that's going to turn off some of your audience. So I loved that Park Lane is a full service jewelry company. We're the number one direct sales jewelry company in the world, and we
Right.
have something for everyone. So just that in itself was made helped me make my decision. But the biggest part of it was our programs.
Hmm.
Whenever you're looking for a company, you want to pick one that has really strong programs. Now, we all know we're going to get paid. Park Lane is debt free and cash rich. They have a plus in the Better Business Bureau. These are all amazing things. Not only do we know we're going to get paid and they're not going anywhere because they're so strong, But we get a lot of buying power, and we get a lot of like special treatment and stuff out there in the fashion field. So we love that because we can pass that on to our customers. We're the highest paid in the industry, and it starts with our customer sale. So Park Lane has a customer sale where it's buy two for regular, get four for half, spend 90 and get an item for 35. I said that really fast. Don't worry, if you decide to join us, you'll learn it. Everybody knows it, but that's a really easy sale for others to repeat. So it's like advertising and word of mouth, but it's also a sale where everyone is so happy, and I'll tell you why. The customer, she doesn't have to take advantage of the whole sale, but when she
No.
does, she got a lot of jewelry for a really low
Right.
price, usually less than the price of one piece, the one she got for 35.
Right.
And she has more jewelry to go out and wear in the world, and more advertising and referrals come back to us. So she is absolutely thrilled with the value. The hostess who invited the customer is absolutely thrilled to share it with her fans and friends and family. So everybody wants to have shows because they're like, you guys got to hear about this sale. But the sale also brings that sale up to a place that the average sale is well over $100. And when we get paid percentage of what we sold, we love that. Everyone's happy, you know? So I'm sure you've all heard of people just said like, well, I'm thinking of selling that $5 jewelry. I think that would be an easy sale, you know, $5. But I also think it would be frustrating on how much you'd have to sell to get paid a decent amount. And we have an unconditional guarantee. So people are just, they're always going to be happy. It's not like $5 one and done broke. It's really a
Yeah.
great value. And that transfers into everything else we do. So we're paid, you know, very well. Our average order is very high. Our hostesses love to talk about the sales, so they want to have shows with their friends. Research
Yep.
shows the number one reason people will have shows in today's world is they want to deal with their friends. And then Park Lane just adds all these other perks, like Scott, our CEO. He said, like, he never wants us, he always wants his children to have as much as everybody else. So he watches all of the other companies, and there isn't anything that they do that we don't do. So if they have a trip, we have two a year. We have two trips a year. They have
Yep.
a car, we have a white Mercedes car program. You know, we get free jewelry every single month of our whole entire career based on how much we sell. So literally, I've had $1,000 in free jewelry every single month for all 15 years that I've been here. And that was something Paul said too. He goes, you know, you can't, we don't even put that into your income, but you know, so much of our shopping,
Sure.
not to mention my own adornment, you know, is totally free. So it works out really, really well. And we are the only direct sales company that has a direct appoint program. And what that means, and this is how another reason Janine and I found ourselves here,
Right.
we had done very well at our other companies. And it's like
Mhm.
any job, you have a certain skill set, you know, you can, don't have to, you shouldn't have to start all over from the bottom. And Park
Mhm.
Lane brings you in at a title that's commensurate with what you've achieved, you know? So we love that. And no quotas. Let me say that again. We have no quotas. It almost makes you wonder how we could survive, but we
Oh.
survive because we lead with the carrot, not with the stick.
Yep.
So we do not say like you have to do a certain amount every month or you lose your ability to be a rep, or what if you don't do this or this, you'll lose your title. So once you have a title, I could leave for 4 months, come back, I could leave for 3 years, come back, and I would still be an executive company vice president. So those are very wonderful, such relief to people too. It's really a
Good word.
stress-free gig. Mm-hmm.
Good word. I was thinking stability, but I think relief is a better word. And those of you who know, well, those of you who
We have
are
enough
familiar,
stress.
right? Those of you who are familiar with the direct sales market space, or you've sold for another company, you do know, and you and I are both in this pool. We do know what it's like to have quotas and minimums,
Yeah.
and it's a scary thing when you become a leader and you are living and dying by the calendar.
Yes.
You don't need to do that with Park Lane. So I always love when you say that, that no
Yeah.
quotas, no, and you even
Minimums.
talked about
Mhm.
like the jewelry companies that sell at a lower rate, they have huge inventories they have to carry. We don't have to
Yeah,
do
oh,
any
yeah,
of
most people
those
have to
things.
pre-buy. We don't have any, we don't carry
Nothing.
inventory. Everything goes direct from Park Lane. Yeah, it's
If
perfect.
you're familiar with the whole genre of drop shipping, that's what I feel sometimes that I do here at Park Lane, because we go in, we're party plan, right? We do the party, the client orders, the direct order goes to the company fulfills the order and drop ships it directly to the client. I'm the middle person. I don't have to touch anything.
Yeah.
And I find that to be really, really less stressful
Yeah.
than having to deal with more than that. So, Mary Grace, why now? There was a girl in the comments, Kim. I didn't get her last name, but she said, "I'm really thinking about doing this." So let's talk to the Kims of the world. Why is now the time to do this?
Oh, Kim, seriously, did you ever, we've all been in a position where we look and we go, oh, why didn't I do that then, kind of thing. It's like the time's going to pass anyway. You may
True.
as well just jump in. There's nothing to lose and a lot to gain. Let's look at the time of year. I mean, my gosh, we call it the golden quarter in retail. I mean, this is the time of year. And actually, right now, people are just like starting to get it. They're like, I need my winter stuff. I need my Christmas shopping, so it's perfect because people are like, I need something quick. I need to do it. Yeah. So you can make your Christmas money. Wouldn't it be so great to have a debt-free Christmas or a huge dent in it? Oh my gosh, it would be the best present ever. So we have a deal where for $129, you get to choose $500 worth of jewelry. That deal's been going for a while. In itself, nobody does that. That's an incredible deal. So you pick the $500 worth of jewelry, whatever you like. It's your jewelry. Do with it as you wish, but it's to help you kick off your business so you have something to show. Right now, in addition to that, you get to pick a free impression bracelet, which retails for $188. So it's really like you're getting to pick $688 worth of jewelry for $129. And then they have a booster pack where you can get another $200 worth of jewelry for like $59. But let's say $129, you're picking $500 in jewelry, you're getting your impression bracelet. Okay. You decide you set a date for your show. This is critical. But guess what? You're not doing your show. The person who invited you to this call will do your show one way or another, whether it's long distance or in person. They will do your show. This is on the job training because you'll be watching them differently than you did before, right? Because you know that you're going to do it. She has no preconceived ideas. So she will get you lots of orders. She will get you new customers. She would let, everybody know that from now on they follow you, not her. And guess who gets the paycheck for that show, even though she did all the work? You. Okay, so Kim, like that's kind of what's happening out there is like if there's anybody in your life that's kind of like, I don't know, they get nervous, they've heard things. It's really neat to be able to say, give me a week.
It's true.
At the end of that week, we will reevaluate. And when they see that you got $700 worth of jewelry for $129, you got a paycheck that paid back the $129 with lots of money left over. Right? Mm-hmm. You got more jewelry at your show. You got shows to do, because of the fact that they were just handed over to you from your show. We have done everything we can do to entice you to try this.
Yes.
And the worst thing that can happen is you won't like it. The worst thing that can happen. And you know what? We're kind of mean this way, but we make you keep the jewelry. We make you keep the money. Okay. And we ask you to please just come back to our community as a customer.
Yeah. Just be an advocate for us.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the simplest way I can put it. Cause I just think people are so sure that there's a catch and there's fear. That's normal, but you get to decide with us and we have everything ready for you. We have on-the-job training. We have cut and paste stuff you can do on your social media platforms. Really, we got all that. So anything that you're worried about right now, don't worry, because we've been here. I've been here. We got it for you. We're ready.
And we're going to be here. And we're going to be here. I just dropped the Google form in the comments section, so you all should be able to see it. It's also in the description above of this video that you're watching. And it's also in our featured section of our Grace and Grit Studio group. So thank you so much, Mary Grace. Honest to goodness, you spoke. I love going live, so this will be fun. Kim Anderson is going to be a yes. Whoever is her stylist, get in touch with Kim now.
Yay!
Perfect time. I hope all of you say yes. Let's be amazing. Let's have some fun. Fill out that Google form and invite a friend next week. We had 30 people watching tonight.
Let's have 30 new people
next week.
Yeah, so excited. Thanks for joining, guys.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate all of you. We'll see you next week, 7 Eastern, 6
Bye,
Central.
everybody.
Thank you. Take care,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye bye.